The Bliss Business Podcast, the show about empathy, connection, and consciousness in business. Today's episode is brought to you by Zero Company, your paid search, social media, and programmatic ad experts.
Welcome back to the Bliss Business Podcast series, Marketing with Purpose, where we explore how to embed purpose into every level of your marketing. I'm Sakach here with my co-host Tullio, Siragusa, and Mike Liwski. Hey, guys.
Hey, Steven. Good to see you.
So today we are talking about something that scares a lot of leaders, and that's evolving your purpose. How do you grow your mission as your business changes without drifting so far that you lose what makes you you? So purpose is your North Star, but it's not always carved in stone. As markets shift, as your impact deepens, or as you enter new phases of growth, your purpose may need to expand. Think of it less like changing course and more like sharpening your focus or widening the lens.
And there's danger in clinging to like a purpose statement that no longer reflects your reality. And things are always changing. The markets are changing. Your own company's evolving. It can actually make your brand feel a little out of touch with reality, with modern times. On the flip side, changing it too drastically can alienate loyal customers and confuse your team. The art is knowing when a shift is an evolution, not an abandonment.
Precisely. And so we'll give you some keys that you could look for, some signs that you might be able to use. So number one is your original scope. Has it been met? Maybe you've already achieved what you set out to do, and now you're really ready to take on the next challenge, right? This one's also more common. Your audience's needs have changed, right? You still serve them, but in a new way. And there's plenty of examples, out there of organizations that have done this. And then as well, does the industry shift, right? Or has that industry transformed? Staying relevant, means reframing your why so that it's, present, or that it's, the why for the new context or the current context. And then your teams, maybe your team is growing in new directions, right? So their skills, their passions, their opportunities are really starting to expand. And so then your purpose should really reflect that as well.
Ideally, it should feel as relevant to your day one customers as it does to your newest ones, right? A good purpose should grow with you in that regard.
All right, so let's go through a few examples. We always like to give examples of what we're talking about. And the first one we can talk about is Airbnb. Everybody knows Airbnb. Their original purpose was essentially help people find affordable places to stay. But as they grew, it became belong anywhere. That evolution matched their shift from being a housing alternative to a platform for connection, cultural exchange, and global experience. It also gave way to expanding their offering as well. So it was very strategic to evolve, but also give room for expansion.
And now another brand that we have grown up with, you could say, is National Geographic. When they first started off, their purpose was really heavily focused around the geographic exploration that they looked at. But today, that is really evolved into inspiring people that really care about the planet and what's going on with the environment. And so the broader scope lets them really lead on environmental storytelling while still, being able to honor the needs that, they had in their original roots.
Yep. And another one comes to mind, Charity Water. So this has evolved from simply funding wells to a deeper commitment to community-owned solutions and tracking the long-term health of water systems. So they didn't abandon their cause. They just expanded their definition of success.
And then Netflix is another great example, very strong example. They began as a DVD rental by mail service, and then their purpose evolved into an entertainment made easy. And now they lean toward connecting the world through stories. So that shift has allowed them to move into streaming, original content, And with a global reach, they've done it without losing their core of accessible entertainment. In contrast, some of their competitors went out of business. The people who just stuck with the DVDs at the store. What was the name? Blockbuster.
Yeah,
So there's an example of not evolving your purpose or your mission.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Redbox, another one that we know really well. Another example of a great organization that's evolved over time, right, is REI, right? It started off initially as a climbing gear co-op with a focus around equipment for outdoor enthusiasts. But today, right, this is an example of where the audience has shifted. So their purpose has expanded to inspire, educate, and even outfit for a lifetime of outdoor adventure and stewardship. So even their hashtag opt outside, that whole movement was a very natural evolution that strengthened their environmental and their community mission.
So another example, Lego, right? So this is a great case of a brand that evolved its purpose to stay relevant. So originally it was simply creating quality toys, right? Now their purpose is to inspire and develop the builders of tomorrow. So that can encompass their digital play, right? That could encompass sustainability initiatives and educational programs. So all while staying true to the idea of creative building. So let's go into now how to evolve without losing your soul. So here's an approach to a purpose refresh. So start with your core belief. What has stayed true since day one? That's your anchor, right? And then to maybe engage your community. Ask customers, employees, and partners what they feel your purpose is now. You might be surprised. And then third would be test the language. Try it out internally before announcing it. Does it inspire? Does it guide the decisions that you're making? And then lastly, connect old and new. Make it clear how the updated purpose is a continuation, not a contradiction.
And it's smart to use your evolution as really a moment to re-energize your brand storytelling, right? Share why the change is happening and how it makes you even better, let's say, even more committed, perhaps, to the people and the problems that you're serving, present day.
One time I flew on a company corporate jet and I got to sit in the front in one of the jumper seats. And I'll never forget the pilot. There's this little wheel that you kept an eye on the horizon and keep moving this wheel, which actually adjusted the pitch of the plane. It was just this gradual adjustment of the pitch. If you don't do that, the plane would fly right into the ground because the earth is round, right? So it's about an evolution. It's about alignment, not reinvention. When you're doing this, you're not replacing your heartbeat. You're giving it room to beat. So it's just little incremental alignment that you're shooting for, not reinvention.
So evolving your purpose is about honoring your roots while embracing your growth. When done well, it can breathe new life into your brand, strengthen loyalty, and position you for the next chapter of impact. So thanks again for tuning in today's episode and listening once again to the Bliss Business Podcast.